a great weekend so far for the Vols, Bob.
Absolutely.
Playing for the tournament title in basketball today against those Gators. Potentially a number 1 seed on the line. Should be, but I'm not certain that it is.
Right.
And playing those same Gators, hoping to sweep them today on the diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there, Bob. It's been a fun series so far.
Yeah, if you're a Tennessee fan, it is.
Mm-hmm.
2-0. You're playing a team that going into the series, there was little doubt how good this team is. So, the number 7 ranked team in the country, they was probably in line for a bump after beating another top 10 team in the midweek in Florida State, which was undefeated at the time.
So
you got a really good Florida team here, and you beat them 5-3 on Friday night, and then in a weird scoring game on Saturday, you beat them 10-0. What looks like a runaway game that really wasn't all the way.
No, it was a squeaker, a pitching duel.
Yeah,
until the very end.
you was up 1-0 in the 6th inning, and you're thinking, are we gonna win this ball game or what? And the next inning, you run rule.
Yeah,
that's weird. And you scored 9 runs in the 7th inning, and only hit 1 home run. That's one thing I really like about this team, is the fact that we're not dependent on home runs to beat good teams.
no, we're getting on base a lot. That's the reason we have so many grand slams. To be honest about it, we're putting people on base and in the path, on the base path.
Yeah, 2 things I see that seem like we're doing better is, one, we're hitting the ball better, and it don't seem like we're chasing as many bad pitches. I think it looks like there's something we've really worked on. Our plate discipline's been better, and like you said, it's just a matter of getting people on base to hit these home runs and such. Like you said, with we're on our path to break the Grand Slam record.
Yeah, and today, although we just got I think it was a 3-run shot.
Yes,
that ended the game, but we're getting people around, we're moving them around, and the Friday's game was a nice pitching duel between the Liams.
Yeah,
and everything. That was a big win for us. But today's game was, I don't know, it was just kind of a fun game. We saw a lot of these freshmen today. Jay Abernathy, both at the plate and in the field.
Oh yeah, he may have locked up that spot today. I'm not sure if he might have had it locked up going into today, but that was a spot that was up for grabs going into the season. They moved a lot of people around, but with his defensive play, and he's already hitting well over 300 for the year. So unless he goes in a major slump, which is possible with freshmen, I see him locking that spot up.
Yeah, and he's a turn on the base pass.
Oh yeah,
he could take it. Yeah, take off any time.
Yeah, the freshmen are playing great. He's playing great. Manny Marin playing great. Levi Clark, obviously. Stone Wallace, was a redshirt freshman, but he was playing
great behind the plate today.
Right. And, I'll tell you another person that this game I felt like maybe is gigantic for is Marcus Phillips. He's a guy that, from hearing all the people on the team had a confidence issue. That was his thing. What's more confident than shutting out the number 17 in the country?
Yeah, and went all the way.
Yeah,
went the full 7 innings.
That's something else that's huge. Because we used some pitchers in Friday night's game, some of our best pitchers, Lloyd and Snead. Even though I'm sure there's probably a couple of those guys could probably get you some pitches on Sunday, because they really didn't go very far in Friday night's game. But looks like with using Phillips the whole game, we have a lot of guys available for the Sunday.
Yeah, and it'd be fantastic if we can sweep these Gators, because I was a little concerned. Not necessarily with the Gators, just the fact that we have had unusually softer out of conference record, and we're good.
Oh,
we're really good.
Right.
But you like to see what you do when you really go up against the big league
teams. Yeah, and I do believe
Florida's one of them.
Is an elite team. Yes, I do believe.
Oh, absolutely. So, if anyone had questions about this team, so far after 2 games, we've eliminated a lot of those.
Couple things. One, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that like button. hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we have a video come out. We sure do appreciate that. And, leave a comment. One thing that we was just discussing before the video, you had the Tennessee 22 team, which some people thought might be not only the best Tennessee team, but maybe one of the best baseball teams ever. Win the national championship last year. Where does this team stack up right now for you? I mean, I know it's very early. Obviously, any projection right now is just that, projection. But where do you think this team's going to finish if you had to guess? I mean, I'm beginning to think this team is better than last year. Now, where is it with the 22 team? And then, some people will come back and say, how can you put, the 22 team better than the 24 team, because 22 team didn't win it all, but
the only team in the last 4 years didn't make it home.
Yeah, I mean,
probably the best team of all time.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but this team doesn't have any easy outs. I mean, when you're looking at the stats on this team, that's what makes this team so impressive. Now, we're probably not going to be able to maintain this batting average through the SEC level, but you got right now when Stone Lawless is catching, the weakest batting average wise is Andrew Fisher, which is at 302, but he's well over 500 on base percentage and has 7 home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's I'm not saying that you're our weakest batter, but batting average wise, he is with that lineup. And boy, if that's your weak link,
watch out. I mean, that's why we're undefeated right now.
Yeah, that's how you put up 9 runs in 1 inning against an elite team.
It is.
It's a good time to be a Tennessee baseball fan, really.
A fantastic time. And, we've had some great hitting teams. We've had some great pitching teams. And right now, I'm not sure that this isn't both.
I mean, and just think, this is without A.J. Russell, which going into the season was considered our best pitcher. But now since Liam Doyle's done what he's done, I have a hard time believing Russell's better than Doyle at this point. But either way, you're talking about a lot of people, a first-round draft pick type pitcher who's not even out there right now. If you're an opposing fan base, opposing coach, you gotta feel like championship goes through the Vols.
Right now, that's what it looks like. And speaking of championships that go through the Vols, basketball, Bob, a few miles down the road in Nashville, our Vols are fighting for the Southeastern Conference tournament title, right? Against the same Gators, Bob. Should be a number 1 seed on the line.
Should be, but
it doesn't appear like it.
At least according to Joe Lenardi, which is, in our opinion, is a committee's mouthpiece, which I think just throws they tell him what they're thinking so that they get the bad news out early, so there's a little bit less griping the day of. But according to him, it doesn't matter what we do on Sunday, we're still not getting a number 1 seed. To me, that don't seem right. I mean, when you start comparing resumes, if we beat Florida, man, I tell you what, ours looks pretty dang good. I think it looks better than at least one of the other than 1 seeds.
Well, I agree 100% with that, Bob. It's ridiculous, really, that the Sunday is being ignored for the Southeastern Conference championship game. And I'll be honest about it. The more I've watched the last few years, I'm thinking Saturday's often ignored also. They've almost got these brackets filled out before the weekend ever starts. They'll move things around a little bit Saturday. And I think Sunday they mostly meet for breakfast and decide how we're going to talk about it today.
I really wonder at what point do teams basically mail it in for the tournament and start figuring out that, hey, our conference tournament doesn't matter as far as the NCAA goes. We need to rest up our teams. And when they do that, when it might change, but when you start seeing TV ratings for these tournaments going down, then I think they start looking at the championship.
Well, when the ratings go down, that affects money.
Yes.
So when it costs them money, then they'll get some things fixed.
Yeah.
But now with that said, we if we beat Florida, which we've got to do yet today, right? We beat Florida and still don't get the number 1 seed over them. That's going to be one heck of a chip on their shoulder.
Right.
I like going into the tournament with an attitude.
Yeah.
And but we can't really overlook what we've done so far in the tournament, particularly today, beating Bruce Pearl's a great team from the Plains. To be honest about it, he's built a juggernaut down there.
Absolutely. Yeah, great win today. I mean, you can't not appreciate that. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's been a great season, and I'll be really eager to see where we're at. If we are a 2 seed, where are we at? Are we in Lexington? Where are we at? What's our bracket? There'd be a lot of interesting things to look at whenever that all comes down.
Yeah, you would think that if we were to win, we'd be no worse than the 5th overall seed.
I think so. Yeah,
and hopefully get a seating, a location and bracket befitting of that.
Yeah, no expert here, but I do believe if we're the number 1, 2 seed, that we would probably end up in the Lexington, which is not a bad drive for the Tennessee fans. I mean, if it gives us a little bit of a home court advantage if that's the case.
Oh, I'd love to be up there if we could.
Yeah.
But guys, like Bob said earlier, give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get some rest now so we can be ready to yell at the TV tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So till next time, guys, go Big Orange.
Go Vols.